Let's talk about the new improvements to the Add Camera Rigs add-on, which used to be bundled with Blender, but since 4.2 is now available through the extensions platform. Introducing version 1.8. Here in the side panel, you can see that we've got an updated version of the UI. It has been tidied up to look a little bit cleaner. However, there are a few new settings. We have exposed the camera tilt and shift settings, so now it's available to animate them from within the rig itself. But the most interesting features have been added to this little drop-down button here. The first new feature is the shift to pivot function. This will shift the controls back, keeping the same offset, but so that the aim is over the top of the root control. This makes it super simple to set up a turntable shot with one click of the button. Another cool feature that's been added is the swap lens function. Let's say you've set up your framing for a 50mm lens and then you want to switch to 100mm to see what that looks like. The traditional way is to change your lens, but now the framing's all wrong, so you need to shift your camera back and try and match that same framing. There's no need to do that anymore. The swap lens will do that for you. Just set the lens value you want to swap to and boom, you're done. And the other cool feature is the set dolly zoom. When you enable this mode, you'll get a driver called length here. This is showing what the lens value is, but you can now drag your camera around and you'll see that it's automatically creating a dolly zoom effect. While this mode is active, there's an offset value here in case you still want to tweak or animate this value. However, it's also possible to disable the dolly zoom effect and it's going to keep the current value there. So you can either animate this with the dolly zoom effect fully on, or you can keyframe the lens value at the start and the end of your camera move. You should also notice that the camera rigs all have colored controls, which has been unified across all of the 3 rigs. The 2D camera rig has also had some love. It's got a few new controls. You can see here we have a root control, we also have the root offset, and then we have one extra root control called root tweak. So essentially there are now 3 root controls. This will give you extra flexibility and let you decide what to do with them, like adding a noise modifier to the root offset, for example. It's up to you. But everything else with these rigs functions exactly the way it did before. So where do you grab the update from? If you have allow online access enabled for your Blender installation, the easiest way to grab it is to go to the preferences. Over in the Get Extensions tab, just type in Add Camera Rigs, and there it is. Click the install button and make sure it's enabled with the checkbox. Then you can go to Add Camera, and then you'll see 3 camera rigs that are ready to add to any file. If you don't want your Blender installation to have online access, the alternate way of grabbing it is through the extension webpage, which is on the screen now. Click the big blue button and you can either download it and install it from disk, or simply just drag and drop this into Blender itself. Then you'll have access to the rigs inside any Blender file you wish. But that's all the updates. I hope you find this useful.